Welcome back. I'm Calvin Statue Fanatic here with another unboxing, I guess, semi-review of a product that I just got, something I've been playing with for about a week. This is going to be a little bit different than statues or comics or any of that type stuff, but I will show you how it relates. Now, before I get into that, I think most of us who go to cons and different things like that are very familiar with these gimbals. This happens to be the DJI Osmo 2, their second iteration of their 3-axis gimbal, which is pretty cool. You know, you take your cell phone, you put your cell phone on here, and you turn it on, and you calibrate it, and then you're ready to go. And then you take it apart, you put it in your bag, and then, you know, you ready to go on to your next shoot or your next thing or whatever. We attend a lot of conventions and Comic Cons and things like that. And this comes in handy, especially when you're trying to get stable shots of statues and there's so many people that are walking around. It's crazy as hell. But yeah, you got this big thing out and you're trying to get stuff done. Works good. It stabilizes the image and all that stuff, and then you get it back. It takes about 5 minutes every time you want to shoot to get it set up. And in comes something that I think is a game changer for people like me. Now, when you watch YouTube, you'll see a lot of videos of this particular product and using it in some of the standard ways they use a product like this. But I think there's a really good case use for what we do, especially those geeks that go out on the road trying to bring content, toy hunts, all that kind of stuff that we do. I think this is going to be a game changer if you guys decide to check this out. It would be something that I think you'd be interested in. So what I'm talking about is none other than the brand new DJI Osmo Pocket. That's right, the Osmo Pocket. Somehow DJI has innovated enough to take this and one of the highest end cell phones you can put on here probably in terms of sensors. They've been able to take this device right here and shrink it down into something that I'm going to show you that is incredibly impressive. I've had it for, like I said, a few days. Couldn't talk about it or anything like that because of various reasons and release dates and things like that. But now that I can talk about it and I have it, I'm going to go ahead and open this. This is not a true unboxing. It's a fake unboxing. I've been playing with this thing for quite some time. I cannot put it down. It's fun as hell to play with. So here you have it, the Osmo Pocket, and we're going to go ahead and unbox this guy. And what you get in the box is something really, really simple. You get the Osmo Pocket itself. Take that off. That was kind of a fake screen. I took it off before. And then you get some of the standard papers and things like that and warranties, which I'm not going to even go over because I don't want to. And you get some accessories that we are going to talk about. And we're going to talk about some of the cool accessories that are coming out for this thing. So we've got this here. We've got the case that you can use to carry it in, a little strap, and you've got 2 adapters that are ingenious, and I'll tell you about those in a minute. But the star of the show is this. This is a 3-axis gimbal by DJI with a 1/2.3 or 5 sensor in it, and it's amazing. Now let me show you the first real amazing thing about this is that I'm going to hold this up right here. I'm going to hold this up and I'm going to push a button, and in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, I'm ready to shoot. And there are some incredible features on this device that just blow your mind. I mean, it's just pretty freaking awesome. As you can see here how it's made, the construction is really well made. It's almost feels, I don't know what it feels like, but it's pretty sturdy in your hand. So it doesn't feel like a toy or something that you can break, even though it might look like a toy. You have the camera here and you have the gimbal there, turns, all that kind of stuff. And what's really cool about this is that it comes with a little tiny screen as well. So on this screen you can actually see what you're doing. It's not a very big screen, so one of the drawbacks with the screen is when you're framing up something, you can't necessarily tell that it's in focus because of the size of the screen. But DJI even came up with a way around that. You see these 2 little adapters that I was talking about? This one has a USB-C connector and this one has an iPhone connector. And so if I were to take that particular connector and put it into this little accessory slot here, I can actually take a phone. I could actually take a phone, plug this in, and when I plug this in, the DJI Mimo app launches, and this app actually allows the phone to become a larger screen for the device. And so that, I think, is ingenious the way that they've done that. And so here I have another screen where I get an entirely different set of functions and features that I can use for this. And even with this, see, what I have here is an iPhone SE, and I actually picked this up specifically to use as a screen for this particular device. One, the iPhone SE is really, really light, and it also has the latest iOS 12 operating system on it, so you don't have any issues with that. And when you're looking for a larger screen to frame up something really nicely, this is a great way to do it. And then it's really easy to put in your pocket with the Osmo. Whereas when you're talking about something like this is going in nobody's pocket. And most of the phones that we use are really large phones, 5.8, 6-inch screens, and they can be quite heavy with the cases and things like that. So I thought having something like this iPhone SE would be really nice to do that. Now, we've rambled on about that. There's a couple of things that I'm going to show in the video as roughly as I possibly can. I went out to a few places, had some fun with this, and I'm going to show some videos and footage of what I had, including the audio and that type of thing, and see what you guys think about the audio. But before we do that, I'm going to take the camera off here. I'm going to take the phone off, not the camera. And what I want to show you here basically is some of the features that you have on here. This is a touch screen that's on the back of here, and you get some pretty basic shooting features on here. This can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, which is absolutely amazing. I have it currently set at 4K at 30 frames per second. So you have a few settings here. If you swipe up, you have one thing where you can recenter the gimbal. You have another one where you can change how fast or slow it follows an object. That's right, this actually follows your object. You can lock in, let's say at a convention on a statue that you're walking around, and have the gimbal stay locked in on that statue even though you're moving or even switching hands, and not have that shakiness you get when you're using just your cell phone, and not have to worry about the bulkiness you have when you're using a gimbal like this guy that I keep showing you guys. Alright, you also have here different modes. You have the follow me mode, tilt mode, and the first person view mode is which you can change your camera. And you also have a selfie mode. That's right. This particular camera can work as a blogging camera, and it seems to work really well from what I've seen so far. The microphone is right up front here, and you can hear yourself really well. I'll let you be the judge of the audio, because that was one of the first early complaints of this before the software update that came out this past week, was that the volume or the mic was not very good. But there are even some fixes for that as well. I'm going to take this off. If you wanted to keep your connector for whichever phone you have here, you can safely secure it here, which is no big deal. And then this, when you turn the Osmo Pocket off, it turns off and immediately puts itself in the position to be able to be put in your case. And this case quite literally fits in your pocket without you even noticing it's there. It's pretty awesome. You might forget it in your pocket and end up washing your clothes. It's so small, so don't do that. It's really cool. So some other things about this, we'll go back to the screen and do a few more of the little menus. Like I said, you swipe up and you got the menus that I showed you, that I talked about earlier. And then if you swipe left, you get the various shooting modes. You get photo, and then if you swipe again, you get to decide whether it's 3x2, 4x3, or 16:9. And you also have time lapse. Again, with that, if you swipe over, you can also see video, and then again, the type of video. Now, on the Osmo Pocket itself, you can only choose 4K at 30 frames or 60 frames per second, or 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second at 6:9. But I'll show you when you hook up the phone, there's a ton more features that become available in the Osmo app when you're using your phone as a companion. And when you set those parameters with the phone, you can take the phone off and those pro settings still stay in the camera. That is another complaint that some people have, that they would rather have more of those pro features available as swipes and gestures on the Osmo, so that you don't always have to have your phone available when you're doing that. So that is the shooting mode, so let's get out of that. And then if we swipe over to the right, you get the play mode. You can't hear audio when you play back, but you can definitely see the pictures and videos and kind of see if you've got the frame of the shot that you're looking for. So that is pretty cool. And then if you swipe down, you get various setting modes on here that you can play around with, whether it's calibrating the Osmo, or you can check your battery status, tilt control, that type of stuff. Really cool. Now, On the back of here, there's only two buttons. There's the record button and there's the on and off button, or the I guess you would command button, a function button. That's a better way to put it. So I'm going to turn it off right here again. I love turning this thing off because when you turn it on, kind of like a little robot that just boots up in 5 seconds and you're ready to just start shooting some very, very incredibly stable pictures and videos. Is pretty awesome. So one of the things with the button here is that it has multiple functions. If I push it once, it changes it to photo mode and I can just take photos. If I push it again, it goes back to video. If I push it twice, it recenters the gimbal. And if I push it 3 times, it turns it into selfie mode, and it automatically detects the face so that it tracks me as I'm moving back and forth. It can actually see me, and if I move back, it's pretty cool. You may not be able to see that on the camera that's on here, but I may be able to show you some video. But that is pretty cool. Let's see what else we can talk about. Now, as far as the functionality and how to expand this particular device, again, most videos you see are going to be about action shots, outside, cinematic type videos that people shoot, and of course blogging, and that's all great, and this camera seems like it's going to really deliver in that area. But one of the things that me and my friends and colleagues and things like that in this hobby, what we do is we go out to comic conventions, comic cons, we go toy hunting, we do all those kinds of things. And it's really great having a device that you can pull out in your pocket and just start shooting. I remember when at New York and San Diego, there were several times when I wanted to shoot a few things, but by the end of the day or the middle of the day, I was a little tired and I didn't feel like taking my backpack off, taking the gimbal out, putting the phone on, calibrating the phone and start shooting. I just didn't feel like doing it. I could have just used my phone, but many times when you just use your phone, the digital stabilization in the phones are not that great. So you still end up with this really shaky footage, or in post-production you have to stabilize the footage, which crops it out, and it doesn't look like you want it to look. I think this solves that problem of always having a device in your pocket that you can take out, get really stable, nice, good footage for blogging and YouTube. Awesome. Now, as far as expanding this device is concerned, there are some really cool accessories coming out for this, and I can't wait. One of the accessories is, even though the mic has been improved and the mic is right in front of you when you're blogging and talking, so it catches your voice really well, I'm going to show you here a video of me kind of talking through the mic when I'm out at GameStop here. So I'm at GameStop checking out this new camera and just trying to get a sense of what it's like to use this for, let's say, toy hunting and all that kind of things. People here are pretty cool, let me film as much as I want. So as you can see, the video looks pretty decent. It looks like something that can really help out when you're going to conventions and you're doing toy hunts and you're trying to get stable video. However, if that's not good enough for you and you need better audio quality, DJI also has this little adapter at the bottom where they are putting out a mic accessory where you can plug in a regular microphone, lapel microphone, that type of thing, so you can actually get better audio that way. Another really cool device is where you saw me put this little adapter that goes to the cell phone. Another cool accessory that they're coming out with is a wheel, which allows you to do a lot of panning and tilting and that type of thing. As you can see, if you slide the switch to the left or to the right, you either pan or tilt, which is pretty awesome. It's cool that you can also do that on the actual screen too. There's a slider that allows you to do panning and tilting on the screen itself. So that's another really cool accessory that's coming out. In addition to that, some people think that maybe this should have been built in, but maybe that's how they kept this device so small. One is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. There's a Bluetooth adapter that you'll also be able to get with this device that allow you to be able to connect wireless to your cell phone, which is really good when you're using some of the features like motion time lapse and that in slow mo. Those types of things might be really cool to have the phone wirelessly connected to it, and that's one of the other features in the shooting mode that you can do. A couple of other things I want to talk about, and that's, let's go back to to the phone that you use. Any phone will work, both Android and iOS. However, the only adapters that are out right now are for USB-C, which are becoming the most popular ones, and of course the Lightning connection for the iPhone. Now, both an iPod Touch, if you have that, would work as well. I bought this to work, and I bought this for a few reasons. Like I said, one, to have a screen, but I don't need a 6-inch screen next to this. That kind of defeats the purpose of this being small and light and able to handle. Two, it frees up my phone, so I don't have to worry about text messages and those things coming in when I'm using my phone. And that happens a lot when I was using the gimbal and I'm using my phone. It is still my working phone, and I'm still getting communications on it. And people that are calling me don't know that I'm at a convention filming. So by getting this dedicated, really light phone here, it makes it really cool that I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in again. Again, the DJI Mimo app launches, and when it launches, a couple of things happen here, and I'll show you the screen. I hope you guys can see the screen here, but there's a few things on here. You can actually decide here whether you're going to do time-lapse, slow motion, video, photo, and panoramic. And what's really cool about the panoramic feature of this, I'm going to actually take one of the room here, or maybe not, but when you take it, the gimbal itself does the moving, and you don't have to move around. You keep it stable or you sit it down, and it does a fantastic job creating panoramas. And then it also does either a pano in the regular 180, or it can take 9 shots and put together a really nice panel, especially when you go to places that have high-rise buildings and you're trying to get this pano of a high-rise building. You see a perfect, beautiful scene you want to capture, but yet you have everything up here and you have stuff down here, and the camera in 180 doesn't capture it all. But with this, you can actually have it take 9 shots up here, in the middle, and down at the bottom, and stitch all those shots together and give you a really cool panoramic shot, which is pretty awesome. You also have some other features here where you, I think it's called a, yes, 3x3 is the panel shot. Then you can also decide to change the speed in which you use the follow mode. You can also change your tilt lock, your first person view, and the follow mode here. Another really cool feature, you can recenter. Of course, you can do the selfie here. And then I like the fact that you can go here and get into the pro mode of the camera. When you go into the pro mode, you see you have basic here. You can take the anti-flicker to 50 hertz or 60 hertz. You can put grid lines on in case you're trying to frame up some really cool shots. You can do that. There's some other features like overexpose here, but when you go to Pro mode, you get so much more control over the type of footage that you're getting. You can shoot in JPEG and RAW. If you were in video, for example, and you went to the Pro mode here, you can change the movie from MOV to MP4. You can have auto white balance or set your own white balance. 60 hertz, you can change that to from 60, of course, to 50. That's all you have. You have noise reduction, the grid lines again, overexposed. You can even have a histogram on there to see if you are clipping highlights and things like that, which is pretty good. And you even have focusing modes where you have AFC autofocus and AFS and AFC are the 2 focusing modes. Really cool stuff here. You can change the shutter speed, which is awesome. I just think this is a really great product for a lot of people, a lot of case uses. It's a consumer product. It's not a pro product, if you will, but I can see a lot of professionals using this as well. Something that you can always have on you, always have in your pocket. I'm really excited about seeing this product. Here, I'm showing off some of the video, some of the stock video from DJI, and you can see some of the case uses and the things that they've done with it. What I have here are some scenes from some local stores. I have some scenes here from GameStop, some of which I showed you earlier. And this is me in GameStop kind of showing you what this looks like, because a lot of what we would be doing, or I would be doing, would be in these types of lighting conditions. It wouldn't be in natural lighting. There would be fluorescent lighting and things like that. And as you can see, it does a really, really good job. I headed right over next door to my friend Seth's favorite place, Target. Headed over to Target, to my friend Seth's favorite place there. and check out some pops. I can't believe I'm actually doing a pop type thing. This is getting out of control, Seth. This is all your fault, just so you know. Yep, we're in Seth's favorite place here. So we're gonna head over to the pops and see what it looks like. Really digging the stability on here. It looks really cool. I'm walking pretty fast and it's still pretty stable. As you can see, looks pretty decent. We're at the toy section here. Oh wow. Target has this incredible Deadpool. So I was actually coming here just to do this video. Now I want to buy this Deadpool NECA figure, Ultimate Deadpool, and do a collecting on a budget episode with it. Look at the stuff that's in here. This is pretty cool. I think I'm going to pick this up. I didn't come here to do this. I came here to show you how this camera looks and how it functions when you're doing things like this. Check this out. That's kind of cool. So just curious what you guys think. Does the video look good? Good enough to do some pop hunting and all that kind of great stuff?
Well, as you can see, it also does a really good job here under this lighting situation, which again is where we would find ourselves if we were at conventions and cons and things like that. We would be shooting in these types of lighting conditions. It's really great. I love how stable this video footage is. And then I actually went to my local comic book store, bought some things there. I'm going to be doing a review for something really cool that I picked up. But here in the store, you can see it looks really good. The lighting, again, a different lighting situation, but yet artificial lighting. The DJI Pocket handles these lighting conditions really, really well. I am in love with this product. I would love to hear what you guys think in terms of what I consider a case use, especially with some of the things that I'm planning to do. I have friends that have collections and I'd love to go do room tours of their collections and share with you. And this is a really great piece of equipment to take with me to be able to do room tours.
So this is the selfie blogging mode, and it looks pretty good. You can see it tracks my face and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, we did have a little fun with this device while we were testing it out in the field. So I wanted to show and see how low light would work inside of certain, you know, fun situations. I went out with a friend last night, and yeah, this happened. All right, here we go. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket, and as you can see, you can have a lot of fun with this device. Not only can you reduce the amount of stuff that you carry in your pocket, but you can also have a lot of fun with this. And this happened.
You and your body, every single portion, says you years up and down your spine. The juice is going down your line.
I was very impressed that we were in a loud place with a loud cover band playing, and it was still able to pick up my voice and you could understand and hear what I was saying in a crowded club with lots of noise going on. So I'm really impressed with the microphone on this guy. Low light seemed to work pretty good too.
Well, thank you again for joining me for something quite different than unboxings of statues and toys and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, I'm really excited and giddy about this. I'm a tech guy at heart anyway. I work around new technology all the time, so it's very exciting to see things like this come up and being able to be one of the first to get your hands on it and play around with it before everybody else does. It's pretty awesome. But that doesn't change the fact that if you want to stay on top of the latest in the world of collecting, that you head over to MCE Central. That's Marvel Collectible Entertainment, where you can find some of the coolest unboxing statue reviews, collecting on a budget by yours truly, Statue Fanatic. We've got the Pop Night, and we've got the Marvelous Knight and his adventures. It's just really cool. We're having a lot of fun, a lot of cool guests on the show. Love that you guys are starting to just tune in every Monday for that Geek Show. Thank you so much. So until next time, my friends, peace.